So, you know, it's probably the best advertisement you could have for yourself is a mural, like a huge building. It's like a billboard to yourself, which is great, you know, and it definitely propels the career forward and gives you, you know, with artists, it's like people always, they like think about whether it's like legitimate, right? Like, is this legit? Like, is this guy for real? Like, you know, it's like people, it's not always like, oh, I like the work, I'm gonna go for it. It's like, well, what kind of clout does this person have that like justifies the price? Which is wild and a wild concept, because if you switch that to like a lawyer or a doctor, you know, or literally any other profession, they don't need to justify why they do what they do and why it's worth the money, you know. But with art, it's like, well, you're having fun for a living, so you want to put this on the cart? Let's do it. Nothing has ever been accomplished by one person.
Yep.
It's always a group of people.
Yep.
Society.
Pushing ideas forward, bringing ideas to life.
Yep. Nothing could be done. Like, you know, this like culture of like putting up these figureheads is bullshit. You know, no such thing as a self-made man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a woman or whatever.
Yeah. Self-made. That's a fake.
It's a fake thing.
Yeah.
The title of the mural is Garden of Collective Futures. Take a left. Bet. Let's do it.
How did you get that project at the Standard?
It's such an interesting thing. It was a project that I was working with 9 other international artists with, who like what's called the EUNIC cluster.
Okay.
And it's basically these like these cultural institutions that you know, like whether it's like a museum or like, for example, like I have a relationship with the Ukrainian Institute of America.
Okay. Okay. So
Through them, they kind of put me onto this cluster thing, and you know, I started talking to them kind of in the beginning as like consulting type in that fashion, you know, and then as time went on, you know, I was just telling them like, you know, what I do, how I do things, whatever, and they were just like, you know what, why don't we just hire you to lead the project? So they ended up hiring me, and you know, we made a dope mural, 9 different. Well, it's really like 10 different murals, but it's all connected.
10 different artists.
Yep.
Awesome.
So I did my piece, and then 9 artists did their pieces, and I kind of like picked the colors and connected everything together.
Awesome.
The title of the mural is Garden of Collective Futures. I have a relationship with the Ukrainian Institute of America. Yeah, it's like a cultural institution that like promotes the arts, that like champions like, you know, music, performing arts, whatever. And I got connected with them through like a curator that I know from Ukraine for my Fulbright program.
Hey, it's cool. Over easy, yeah. I'll leave one menu with you.
You can take it. It's okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like when to you, at what age did you find like, I have a talent here? And then when did that become like let me pursue this more long term? Was there a moment, or?
I couldn't really tell you a moment. I would say just in general, like ever since I was a kid, like that's all I ever wanted to do. I think we all kind of want to draw and do all these things as a kid, right? And be creative. And I think we're like kind of steered away from that in a sense, right? But I never.
You can't make money or.
Yeah, whatever it is. Like, oh, yeah, it's not a real profession. You know, what are you going to do with that? Like, but I was fortunate enough to have like family and friends that always supported me.
They saw that in you.
Yeah, like maybe when I didn't even see it, but they always saw it. And, you know, I've always said like I wanted to be an artist when I grew up, right? Whatever that means. And, you know, that's what I did. But it's like, it's a very like manifestation type of thing. But to be honest, like there's never anything else I really wanted to do or like thought I was really.
Tell us, where are we? What are we looking at?
We're at the Standard Hotel East Village, and this is the mural I was telling you about before. This is 10 different European artists, but it's basically just imagining what a collective future would look like.
Cool.
Whether it's you know, futuristic stuff like, you know, astronaut helmets and like flying cities and spaceships, or like, you know, like a return to nature and that kind of thing, like kind of growth in that way. And we all kind of imagined it in our own way.
Cool. Awesome. These different worlds or different sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. We're going towards that though. We are going towards a cyborg
Some
lifestyle.
shit. Yeah, like it's either that or like, you know, just like a return to nature.
Yeah.
Like kind of like, hey, you know, like it's time to just go back to the essence.
There's gonna be like a wall. Like it's gonna be like a new world. Like the nature world and
Yeah.
then
The tech world.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I could see that. This constant like, oh, we have to create new things and new markets and everything has to be new and now.
More advanced, more productive.
More productive. But it's in reality, it's like we're not even dealing with the issues that are at hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like creating a metaverse is for what?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like so you could sell real estate in a fake place?
Yep.
Because you're running out of real estate in the real place?
Yep.
I don't know, maybe like deal with hunger.
Yep.
Deal with homelessness. Deal with poverty that you created.
Yep.
You know, like these guys that talk about like Zuckerberg or Elon Musk.
Yep.
You know, these guys are so like removed from the real world.
Yeah.
Like what are they even talking? Like they're the reason why poverty exists.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's like Batman, right? Like this dude is out fighting crime, forgetting the fact that if he wasn't a billionaire, that crime probably wouldn't even exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
These people that don't have, and he had,
point.
if the wealth was redistributed in a way that was, you know, that was equitable, and everybody got what they needed, we wouldn't have issues like this.
Yep.
Sure, there would be outliers.
Yep.
But you know,
Power gets concentrated in just a couple people's hands.
And that's the reason for poverty, for all this inequity.
Yep. That is kind of the world we're going into. I'm not sure if we'll include this into the thing, but that is definitely the...
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
This is what you want.
Yeah.
You might be like, yo, you know what? This shit's dope. I'm gonna use this shit.
Have you fucked around with AI?
I have not.
Nah.
Not that I have anything really against it. I just like, you know, it's a tool just like anything else.
Yeah.
But
Watching it evolve.
I just haven't had the need.
Yeah.
You know, I should have really used it for, I was like applying to this thing yesterday, and it was like this lengthy thing I had to write. And I'm like,
use your brain?
Yeah, like I have to fucking write this down. It's a very interesting thing, man. Like I'm interested to see like where it goes.
Yeah. We should understand it.
Yeah. You know, it's not like I don't know, things could be scary in that department too, but that's not because of what it is, but like who is in control.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And if the people in control are just using it to gain power and profit, then we're all fucked.
We're all fucked. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because then that's who's teaching it.
That's
you know
the
what I'm saying?
question.
Like,
who governs this?
Yeah.
Do you trust the government? Do you trust tech CEOs to govern it?
I would trust anybody that doesn't have the people's, you know, like best interests at heart, and none of those people do. Like the world, architecture,
everything,
nature, for sure.
Your style. Whenever I see one of your pieces around the city online, there's a certain. My question is like, does your style sort of? How does it evolve over time?
I mean, it really just depends what I'm doing, and like a lot of times I don't use the black lines, for example. It's just all colors. And other times I use the black lines. This I feel like needed the black lines for some reason, so I used them. But you know, the style evolves. It depends what I'm doing. If it's like a portrait or something that needs to be like more you know, um, rendered, or something that could be more like graphic and you know, playful. So you know, I tailor it to the project, but I also like just try to have fun with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man, awesome.
What's his name? Matisse. There's still inspirations. Gauguin, like Frida Kahlo,
Yep.
Georgia O'Keeffe, Kravitz. There's so many.
Yeah.
Going on. Max.
Yep. All in their own right had.
Max Beckman. Yeah. There's. I mean, you know, I'm influenced by a lot of different ones. But yeah, Alex Katz. There's. Anyway. But you know. Peter Max.
Yeah.
But yeah, as time goes on, you learn about more people
Yep.
and they inspire you. You know, I'm fortunate enough to have like contemporaries that inspire me, like
Yep.
people that I fuck with,
Yep.
like that I know,
Yep.
which is great. Well, you know, but yeah, you're about to give it new life.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, you're about to look at it and be like, oh shit, this is dope, like, or whatever. You might be like, this is whack. It don't matter.
I'm gonna consume it though, and
Yeah, you're gonna, you know, it's gonna affect you in some way.
Mhm.
And every day somebody walks by that piece, they're affected. They're, you know, and I think that's the beauty of art, and like public art specifically, because it's so accessible, right? But all art.
it's free. And when it's on the street,
That's what I mean. Yeah, like you don't have to pay to go to a museum. It's not in somebody's collection where it's locked away. You know, so that's the beauty of public art. That's why I enjoy it so much, because it's like you're having this conversation with the people. You know,
why art? So let's dip back to when did you get that like sort of tingly feeling that this is something that maybe I'm going to do for a longer period of time? Your house, there was murals and there was graffiti.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, and stuff you were doing at school.
Yeah.
You did our yearbook.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, like when to at what age did you find like, I have a talent here? And then when did that become like let me pursue this more long term? Was there a moment?
I'd say just in general, like ever since I was a kid, like that's all I ever wanted to do. I think we all kind of want to draw and do all these things as a kid, right? And be creative. And I think we're like kind of steered away from that in a sense, right? But I never.
Art, you can't make money or.
Yeah, whatever it is. Like, oh, well, yeah, it's not a real profession. You know, what are you gonna do with that? Like, but I was fortunate enough to have like family and friends that always supported me.
They saw that in you.
Yeah, like maybe when I didn't even see it, but they always saw it. And, you know, I've always said, like, I wanted to be an artist when I grew up, right? Whatever that means. You know, that's what I did. But it's like, it's a very, like, manifestation type of thing. But to be honest, like, there's never anything else I really wanted to do or, like, thought I was really good at.
Did your parents, mom, dad, like, were they encouraging you early on, like directly, kind of like, how was their involvement?
Yeah, for sure. They would take me to classes.
Elementary school or like high school?
Nah, ever since like from kindergarten.
Okay.
Like from kindergarten up. In general, historically, you know, nothing has ever been accomplished by one person.
Yep.
It's always a group of people.
Yep.
Society.
Pushing ideas forward, bringing ideas to life.
Yep. Nothing could be done. Like, you know, this like culture of like putting up these figureheads is bullshit. You know, no such thing as a self-made man.
Well,
You know,
Yeah.
a woman or whatever.
yeah. Self-made, that's a fake.
It's a fake thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, so like I approach my art with that in mind.
I just didn't think that it was like that bad.
We obviously taught otherwise, all about individualism.
Taught to be an entrepreneur, or
Yeah,
taught to
yeah.
be, especially in America, I think more than Europe, I guess, or
Yeah.
Asia or other parts of the world.
Of course. But there's such a culture that here that you have to be like this one monolith.
I'll go for having guys, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate
man.
But it's such like bullshit, this competition thing. Like, why are we competing? Why aren't we collaborating? You know? You know, I
Collaborating more than fighting.
think- yeah.
There are things. I'm in business, so capitalism creates sort of like there's dynamics that it creates that does benefit society.
I mean, of course.
And it's one system of many, and it's still evolving, and it's definitely not perfect.
Well, the thing is that in capitalism is that it forever has to grow. And it's just not sustainable.
Yeah.
Always has to grow and create new markets.
Yep.
And even in the capitalist structure, if people have incentive, they're going to work harder. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, like, why not pay them more? You're going to go further.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
People are going to be invested in your business, just like you are. They're going to want you to succeed.
Yep.
That's why I never understood why it's like layoffs and let's not pay them and like union busting and all this other stuff.
Countries fighting. I think
Or
people
resources
benefit
that
by
are plenty.
people benefit from the fragmentation of the world.
Yeah, and the perceived scarcity.
Yeah.
They'll never admit it, but it's like
What?
this mural I did a few years back, and it's a mural to stand in solidarity with the Ukrainian people and culture, and really to stand in solidarity with oppressed people everywhere, like I was saying.
This is for the 100th day, or
Yeah,
around
so
the,
I think it's like for the 100th day anniversary of the war
Dope.
in 2022, and it was commissioned by Citizens Bank. You know,
How do you balance art and life?
oh man, you can't separate the two, otherwise you'll go crazy. That's what I learned. Yeah, it's like instead of compartmentalizing, you have to like make sure that one is the other and vice versa. I think
It's
that's
one.
like the best thing I could say about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The way it's like everything is separated,
Yeah.
right? Like you're separated from the earth, separated from your family, separated all these like separations. And I think boundaries are important.
Yep.
But I don't think that you need to separate life from your career, from art. It should
Yeah.
be one and the same.
It's a certain time.
Yeah.
There's no time for things in a sense.
Yeah. And but also it's just like it's flow, right? Like it's all part of it. It's
Yeah.
all part of life. The art is part of life. The life is part of art.
Yep.
And the way you structure it is an art form in itself.
Yep.
You know,
How do you get into flow? Some people they have certain methods. They wake up early. Some it's midnight owl.
man,
What's
I'm
flow
not
to
sure.
you?
I'm not sure I've gotten into flow yet. You know what I'm saying? I have glimpses
Yeah.
where it really flows, and I love it. And you know, it's for the most part, like I said, I make my own schedule. I do what I want when I want, basically, and it's like I get to spend the most time
Yep.
with my family and my daughter, and that's beautiful.
Yep.
So I'm not, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
So
You're not trying to optimize between 8 and 11 to get something done.
no, it's not,
It's happening organically.
It's happening organically. I'm working hard, like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. And, like, time management is definitely a skill that, like, I really, I've done a lot to, like, kind of try to push that. And, like, learn it and be better about it.
Talk about that. I guess that could be helpful for.
I mean, I
Artists.
just think, before having a child, for example, you would have the whole day, right?
Yep.
And I think if you're a creative, you're probably also a procrastinator. And if you know you have the whole day or days or months, nothing ever gets done. Right? Not
There's
for
no
yourself.
deadlines.
You don't. If you have deadlines, you meet those deadlines, but nothing gets done on those terms. when you have a child, you know, when they're awake, that's your time with them.
Yep.
Um,
They're commanding your time.
it's not even
It
that.
sounds-
It's just like, I don't know. Like at first I was like, wait, they're going to take away from my time. But now I realize it's like, I want to spend every moment with them.
Yeah.
You know, like the time I don't have with them, like I want to be with them.
Yep.
So it's like a very precarious
Interesting.
relationship, right? Like on one hand, it's like I need my time, but I also would love to spend all the time. So, but you do realize that the time that you have to yourself,
Yep.
you can be very productive in.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think in a nutshell, that's time management, right?
Nice.
You know that you have, let's say, 3 hours,
Yep.
like at the end of the night.
Yep.
Man, I'm finishing projects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're setting goals to.
Yeah, and you're just more like what I found that instead of like what I thought, which is what like a child would, you know, again like take away from my time. What happened was it added focus to my time. Not it, my daughter added focus to my time. So you know, I think I just got a little better with like I know now what I can accomplish.
Yeah.
So if I'm like dragging my feet, you know, I'm like, okay, no, come on,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes I write on stuff like this. You know, like that's sometimes my ideas. I just like do street art.
Yeah.
I have a sketchbook I carry with me at all times. You know what I'm saying?
An idea, something that you
So
want.
like either ideas or like if I'm in the field and I like how something looks, I just sketch it out. This was in El Salvador.
Oh, dope, bro.
You know,
Dope. What are we looking at? Those just different scenes?
different scenes. Like we got
Cool.
stuck in a church in San Miguel, in a rainstorm. So this is like
Beautiful.
depicting that
Beautiful.
through the door. You know, things like that. Some church in the mountains.
So,
Like a little island type situation.
so when you're on,
A square.
oh, that's dope, bro.
Thanks, man. Yeah, when I'm there, I try to like go wherever I go. I try to sketch
Yeah.
and just like have fun with it.
Cool.
It just makes me feel productive
Yeah.
that I'm like doing something. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, and again, it's like all these things are like. There's no like rule book for it,
Yeah.
right? There's no like real way to like live any life. You know, they tell you there is, but it's not true. Everybody's like way of perceiving the world is different. You know,
Your place in New York.
the Carlisle. Man is a universe within himself, right?
Yep.
And we mirror the universe outside.
Yep.
And
Wherever we're living in the world.
Yeah, like that. And the thing is to balance that with this, right?
Yep.
So the internal with the external.
Yep.
So one doesn't take over the other.
Yep.
That's it. Do your best.
Okay.
Beemelman's bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's the best piece of advice you ever received?
Man. Not good with rapid fire. You know, and the one I can think of right now is a friend of mine told me about my when I was having a baby, and he said like, you know, essentially bring the baby into your world, and that's kind of like been my philosophy for it since then, for like the being a father since then, like
Love it.
that like the world doesn't revolve around the baby, like the baby is brought into your world,
Amen.
right? And it becomes a part of it. And the best way to raise a child is to raise them alongside you.
Yep.
Right? Not like set it, and this is another thing, like set aside, right? We're setting aside time.
Yep.
Nah, all the time is
Yep.
together. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So,
Harmonious.
yeah,
Dope, bro.
harmonious, like intermingling, cohabitating, right?
Yep.
Like that's what it is. Food. Favorite food? Ukrainian food, man. Yeah.
Love it. Love. What advice would you give to a creative that's just kind of starting out?
Do what you love and what makes you happy. Don't compromise for money or fame or for recognition. Those things you'll never fully get. Like you always want more. But if you do it for the right reasons, for the art, for yourself, you'll always be content. You'll always be happy. You'll always be thriving.
So working on next, what's coming up? Sort of, what are you excited about? 24 into the next year? Any projects that are on the
Just
horizon?
the possibilities. You know, I'm applying to a few open calls. I really want to get back in the studio.
Okay.
I gotta.
What's an open call? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
you.
just
For a beginner.
for example, I just applied to the Denver Performing Arts Complex.
Okay.
They want to commission a few artists to like paint their facade and like revitalize the building in an artistic way. So, you know, I'm applying to stuff like that. I just finished off a few like community projects and corporate gigs. I'm about to do 2 more corporate gigs in the beginning of September, and then
Local, New York City.
yeah, New York City, and then you know we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see. But I'm excited to really get back in the studio. That's
Nice.
like putting that out there because that's what I want to do.
Nice. Where's the studio?
In Brooklyn, Bay Ridge.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. I
Yeah,
really
man.
appreciate this.
Yeah, of course,
Thank
bro.
you.
You're already.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you too, man. This is cool.
No, let me get a. Sorry. I'll do a chamomile as well.
As well as Americano.
Oh no, cancel the Americano. Let's go the opposite direction. It's also
sure.
an energy. It's like a recharge.
Of course.
A motivational
Yeah.
aspect to it.
So yeah, it's a beautiful thing, you know. Like then you get those like 2 days to yourself. You come back and you're rejuvenated.
Yeah.
You just want to spend time.
Yep.
You know, and it's like all these things. It's a balance. Everything's a balance.
Yep.
You kind of get it, but you know, ultimately it takes time to like really, you know, hone and foster and make sure that it works.